I wanted to get this picture of Lynch. This hangs in the lamp house. It's a long, one of these long photos. And you can see here, it's from 1920. And this right here is Lower Lynch. This building right here is the movie theater that burned down. And there's the big field at the end of town. And this right here is where the colored school is. And they haven't built it yet in this photo. So this here's Lower Lynch. These houses up here, I don't believe are there any longer. But these houses down along here is, they still are. This is kind of a neat photo. It hangs in the back. I didn't notice it until yesterday. All these grandstand buildings around this field are gone now. Bob Lunsford said he used to play ball there when he was young. Not many trees. You can see the houses are, or the streets are dirt. Got those fences along them.
Bogdan.
I'm in the Monte Vista Cemetery in Cumberland with Bob Collier. And we're looking at some of the old tombstones. Some of these people that might have been miners killed in the mines. You know, Bob, the thing that's funny is, not funny, I shouldn't say funny, it's a bad word. If a miner was killed in Lynch, his family was just put out, weren't they?
Most of the time.
Because you had to be employed to live in the houses?
Right. If you didn't have another family member that would take you in, I think we had some of those that would move in with their relatives. But there were a few of them.
And before the unions came in, if a person's...
Didn't send them, they came from Italy.
Huh. Yeah, there's a lot of European names in here.
That was a child.
This Jakupovich, I've heard Bob Lunsford talk about
There's a
Jakupovich.
Steve.
Now, how many of these people do you think still live around this area that have these kinds of names?
Begoni's live right above me there. They get two Begoni girls.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Banyas just moved from here to his daughters. This is probably Russian or Czechoslovakian. I'm not sure what that name. Dobus. He has some daughters.
And most of these...
They don't live here now, don't they?
Most of these people were just immigrants, came over to work in the mines in Lynch. How was Lynch recruiting over in Europe? Were they using papers?
35 nations came here to work. They brought them from Austria. I don't know, I guess they had people that went and solicited people to come and work. Back in those days, I don't guess they had much work in these other countries either.
Do you think a lot of that was because during World War I, a lot of the American men were being drafted and so they were having labor problems?
Yeah, and a lot of people not only were drafted in World War I, World War II, they had a lot of men that joined the army too, you know.
In the lamp house, it says Samuel Trotsky, beloved foreman at this mine. What do you remember about this Topolowski?
Well, he was...
Bob says he remembers him.
About your height, probably weighed 165, 170 pounds, was kind of bald, wore glasses.
What did he do?
He worked in the mine. I'm not sure what he did, but had a daughter.
He died pretty young.
Yeah. I remember.
Okay, this is the father.
That was the father. He was the one. I remember. I sold him many a bag of groceries.
I've seen his picture in the lamp house. Here's his grave. And he was foreman at... How long was he foreman for? Like 10 or 15 years, wasn't it?
A long time. I'm not sure how long.
He was the foreman in Lynch. So do you remember him?
No,
You didn't know him?
that's before I went to Lynch. I was in high school then when he died.
Samuel Trotsky. That sounds Russian, doesn't it? Trotsky or... God gave, He took, He will restore, He doeth all things.
A little bit. That's before my time too.
Huh.
Glusick. Now, the house I live in, his son owned that house that I lived in for a while. Remember that old man
You
too?
can tell the Catholics with the crucifix on them.
Lockerbie. Castellaro. I knew some Castellaros, but I didn't know they were buried up here. Lived up Cumberland River. There's a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, and there's quite a few children in here, I've noticed.
I'll remember him, and then I'll still remember him.
You can tell by the little statue. Do you think these are all Catholics, or do you think this is a mixture of Catholic and Protestant?
Most of what you see in here, I'd say, would be Catholic. Sabello, he was Catholic. And McCarthy, I'm not sure about. Probably not. But see those on over there, those newer ones, these are people that died just...
Joseph Garayan. Bob says he remembers him. He worked in the mine.
His daughter was a nurse up at the clinic for years and years and years. Call him Booby. I know you heard Bob mention that name.
Booby. Well, he's in your book.
Yeah, he was my foreman in the mine for a long time.
This guy here, Joe, how do you say his last name?
Obradovich.
He's the one you called Booby?
His
son was?
His son is Booby.
Okay. Is his son still living?
Yes. He's about 70 years old, I guess.
So Joe, he was a miner too?
Uh-huh.
Which one worked in the restaurant?
Booby.
Booby did, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning Booby in your book. That's a name you don't forget. Most people would take offense if you called him Booby.
Steve Bishtu, I remember him. Dazzle.
This is a pretty little cemetery. Mountain people like being buried on hills, don't they, Bob?
Well, that's about the only place we got to put us. It's on the hillside. You get in the lowlands, you get washed away. Oh, this one's turned over.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that coming through before.
Phobos. Imagine that's Phobos too. It is pretty.
It's got like the gates are open.
Checking on.
Yeah, that's a pretty stone. Did you know a George Mike? Oh, he died in 45. That'd probably be.
No, that's before my time. John Bierman, I remember him.
Bob says this Luther Poor was one of the mine security people. One of the company policemen. What were those company police like? Were they all thugs, or were some of them pretty decent people?
Well, in the later years, they were pretty decent people now. And they were thugs back in the early days. Of course, they had the U.S. Steel
The company hired them.
with an iron hand, you know.
The company hired them to be thugs, didn't they? That's the kind of people they hired. That Wagers is a pretty tombstone, black and white.
He was the safety director at Lynch.
Safety director at Lynch. Wow.
Oh,
So most of the...
Carl Depp was he was over the maintenance shop.
Where are you pointing at?
Where Bob Delph, D-E-L-P-H.
Oh, uh-huh.
He was over down there where Bob used to work. Him and John Bacchini.
So most of the people that die in Lynch are buried in here.
Right.
This is like the cemetery for the Tri-City area.
Yeah. This part up here was mostly Lynch. This part up here, part of this is Lynch.
So the Mount Vista area was for Lynch, and then what? The Huff?
Down over the hill down there, like I said, was black. Most of them were black. And most of these over here, that's Cumberland and people in that area.
I see.
Well, there's some real old tombstones.
Oh yeah, let's go look at those. There's a kid's one. That leaf is nice.
Baby.
There's a lot of creatures.
And they're very close together too, aren't they?
Yeah, this is a pretty one right here. James Cornett Jr. Oh, he was only 6 years old. He's Richard's age. This little boy that died right here was my son's age, Richard, my middle son. He was 6.
See, here's some markers here. Robert Collins, 2nd, 26th Infantry, World War I.
He died in 63 though.
Probably would have been a man.
That's just a veteran, yeah. Yeah, you're probably right. Alfred Hall.
58. He died February 27th, 1920 something. This one doesn't have it.
What do you think it's got that square in the middle for? Like an insert?
They had an insert. Somebody's over time. It's just come out, I guess.
Oh, this is probably Alfred Hall's information right there. 1858 to 1931. Alfred Hall, that's the same name it's over here. July, yeah, that's him.
Whoa, man, that's been a long time since I've been up here. Lady used to run the service station over there.
The service station in Lynch?
No, in Cumberland.
Oh, in Cumberland. They had a Standard Oil station in Lynch, right?
Yeah, Standard Oil.
And then the guy there was selling cars out of it?
Yeah, they had he had a car lot there, and U.S. Steel had a car lot there.
And you could...
I don't know if the U.S. Steel ran it. Yeah, I think picked somebody to do it.
You could have it taken out of your paycheck, couldn't you?
Yeah, anything you did, you could have.
So a lot of miners, even though they was making good money, they spent it all up on luxuries that regular common folk didn't have, didn't they?
Well, you could get anything you wanted at one of the stores, or you could buy through the bank. You could get jewelry, anything you wanted. Vehicles, they kept you in debt so you couldn't leave, see?
Yeah. Bob said they kept you in debt so you couldn't leave. Well, from the company's point of view, you can't blame them. I mean, you know, it's good business from the company's end.
Well, you know, I was field representative for the union for a while, and they had guys, we had one guy in particular that out of
Out of
200 days, he had missed 121 of them, so
wow.
they fired him, and I got his job back. Just so lucky he was a little smarter than they was. They kept records on him, but he kept records too. Every time he'd take off, he wasn't sick all that much, but he'd go to a doctor's and get a doctor's excuse.
Bob, how'd you learn about the Blair family? Just from local?
Just from local people, Lonnie Brown, Walter Hammonds.
And you didn't
It's
say
just history that people knew that they had gotten from other people, and
you didn't say much
especially-
about them in your book, except that they were the original family. Can you tell me anything else about the Blairs? They settled in the 1700s, according to that cemetery.
now the Blair family, from what I was told when I interviewed these people, this is, I guess, second or third handed information, but that U.S. Steel had bought up what land they could get for like 50 cents an acre or something like that, 10 cents an acre on some of it,
Wow.
and what they couldn't buy they took. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, there's a car over there.
Australian healer. Isn't it? Hello, buddy.
It's got pretty fur, but it's got an ugly face, if you ask me.
That looks like an Australian healer. They usually.
So the Blair families were just kind of homesteaders, farmers, living off the land kind of thing.
Farmers, loggers.
And you think U.S. Steel pushed them out?
Yeah.
U.S. Steel, did they buy 30,000 acres?
Yeah.
That's what it says in your book, 30,000 acres.
Well, I saw somewhere the other day that they had bought 40,000, but I didn't get that from the information that I got. I had 30,000 acres.
At 10 cents a piece, wow.
10 to 50 cents an acre. What they didn't buy, they took.
It's
They told
fun.
me that when they were organizing, it was nothing unusual to get up in the morning and look in Lunny Creek and see 2 or 3 bodies afloat.
Really? Wow. There's a lot of creatures over here.
Yeah,
You know any creatures?
I know quite a few creatures. I don't know if they're related to any of them.
There's a-
Sure they are. This town was made up of creatures and huffs.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, there's a Caleb Huff. I wonder if the cemetery is named after his family. Probably so. I like this one. It looks like a tree trunk. I saw one of these once before in Tennessee. It was at, it was on,
Yeah, that one there, that's the first time I've ever seen one.
I seen it at Andrew Jackson's Hermitage.
So you've been to Nashville?
Yes, sir, I have.
West Roy. 1919.
You start right here.
Bob's going to explain all these equipment to me.
All right, this is
This is a man
modern
trip.
way we
Is this
do
a
it.
man trip?
modern. This is the man trip.
Mm-hmm.
This goes straight. You can haul 15 men in here.
What do they do? Lay down on this in the
No,
middle?
There's 6 in this side, 6 here, and then you got 3 seats here. See, he's right. Got a seat right here.
Is that your driver?
This is the driver right here. Yeah. That's
Okay.
The driver. You got the, yeah.
They use these even now.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Some of them got tires on them.
yeah. Some of them got tires. Some got rubber tires. And some of them got rails. See.
Okay.
Yeah. And that.
Was this used by Arch?
Yeah.
here?
Arch used this. Yeah. And this.
That's
That's
a
right
pretty
here.
small little area
Yeah.
to sit in there, isn't it?
Well, they think you can put 6 in each side of this thing.
6 on each side.
Mm-hmm. 6.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Hey,
3 men right on this side
Yeah.
and 3 over here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That's 6 men, and you got there's 15 in all. 15 in
Okay.
all. Yeah. And then here's the car we loaded with a pick and shovel. This is when you put your check number on and come outside.
So
They
what-
waited. This
what-
is when they turned over.
What year is this?
That was in the 20s.
This is from the 20s?
Yes, it was.
Wow.
From the 20s. Yeah.
And this one turned over into the
Yeah,
dump.
that's the 20s right there.
And this is a joy loader right
That's
here,
the
right?
toy loader right there. Yeah. But you had to cut this coal to shoot it, to load it with this.
So they don't really use the joy loaders now, do they?
No,
Because they
not-
use a
not this
continuous
time.
miner and
Yeah,
don't
that's
need it.
right. They use a continuous miner. And this, these arms down here would gather it up like this, gather it up right here,
Mm-hmm.
they gather it up, and then they put it back here and they load it on a belt or train like that. See?
Okay.
And here's a pin rig right here. This is for high coal. This is a pin rig. That's what you pin the top with. It
Okay.
has to be pinned every 4 foot.
Every 4
That's
foot.
Every 4 foot, yeah, that's, yeah. This one will go 20 feet in the air if you need it. This is
Really?
high.
Wow.
The high coal. This is 20 feet. This will, yeah.
Is all
come
this from Arch?
Yeah.
They
this-
gave it all
yeah,
to you.
Yeah, yeah. Arch give us this. Arch give us the car down there. Arch give us a lot of stuff with but our main, our problem is we could get it in here. Our trouble is getting it unloaded, see. Yeah.
That's your friend right there?
Now, I don't want to show you kids.
Yeah.
Bob made that.
And you paint them every year, don't you?
Yeah. This right here is a the fan in the mines.
Uh-huh.
That's what. But in the old days, the fan was 5 times bigger than that. See where that angle goes up the top of that?
Uh-huh.
Well, is that big? So, come on with us, son. We'll just give you a
one
tour.
of the things that carry you to
Yeah,
carry in
that's
and
what
out?
you're riding. That's the modern way right now. That right there, the white one.
Yeah.
Then, see what they do on this blue one right here. You put your check number on that, and when you come out here, they take that check number off. They can see who loaded that coal. See, that's why they. That's why they keep.
And then would they weigh it?
Yeah, they weighed it.
I
Yeah.
see.
At a scale, they weighed that coal, weighed it off. Had to weigh it to keep up with how much coal you loaded. See?
Right.
And not for the car, it's for the weight. See.
And that was all done with pick and shovel.
Pick and shovel. Pick and shovel.
They'd undercut it and shoot it.
Yep. Yep. If that. You know,
How far that going?
14 miles.
Not tomorrow. Right.
But they said they're not coming down. Here too. See the smokestack?
Yeah.
You got a picture of that? We made
Oh,
our own
yeah.
pair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Made our own pair.
That's where the coal used to go in.
That's
car,
right.
train
That's
cars.
Yeah, we made the.
Tell me about this one right here, Bob. This one right here's got tracks on the side, I
This is a
see.
ratio feeder here.
What's it called?
Ratio feeder.
Ratio feeder.
right here. And what they would use this one for is to load the. When this hole got stopped up, you know, up on top,
Mm-hmm.
the borehole got stopped up. Well, when the borehole got stopped up, we would. There was another way they could put it on the ground. They'd take an end load and load it and bring it down here, and we throw it in here and then put it on the car on the belt and take it on out.
I see.
So you one of the men used to work in,
Pardon?
working in fact.
42 years.
Spent a lot of time on the ground, didn't you?
Yeah, and while I was in and out, I was a welder. You broke it, I welded it, got back out. Actually, I didn't load no coal, but I was in there when it was. It loaded lots of coal.
Is that
And
what
this right here is a road grader right here, and this is what pulls it right here.
What does this do?
That road's a grader. That's a road grader. That levels the road off.
I
Don't
see.
tell me that lawnmower pulled it.
I tell them kids. I said that lawnmower pulled it. They said what? That was pulled by a steam bulldozer.
By a steam bulldozer. What
Steam
year?
bulldozer.
What year is this about?
That was probably about probably 38 or something like that, 28 or 38.
Where'd you get this at? Somebody
Well,
donated?
yeah, the boy Jim Bullock donated. He had it down Tennessee and he brought it up here and unloaded it right here.
I see.
Yeah. Now this down here, this machine right here, that's for loco.
That's a roof boulder
Yeah.
for local?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
what-
recognize
that's
that.
roof boulder. Yeah. This right here,
That'd just stand up, wouldn't it?
right. This right here go right up. That go right up against the top. See, that's what you call a roof boulder right here. And then what you do, you drill it with this right here. You drill it. After you drill it, you put a tube of glue in that hole, son. Tube of glue. That glue is 4 foot long, 1 inch like this. Yeah, like that. And then after you put the glue in it, put this back in there and it goes right up against it and then you leave it. Yeah. And that's right here.
That little bit on there would drill right through that slate, huh?
Oh yeah, no problem. It's a carbide tip right here.
Okay.
That's very strong. It's very strong like that. And, they got one of these for high coal and one for low coal. See, that other yellow one up there is for high coal and this is for low coal. Yeah. And that. Okay. Now, you know about the steam plant and everything. You done got it.
Oh, yeah.
You've been in it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Ain't about ready to fall down.
Have you called your wife? You ain't got no baby, have you? Just people putting it here. Kept everything off of it, put everything new and send it back to them. See? That's right. Come over here, man. I'll show you something, son. I'll show you what my job was.
Mm-hmm.
My job was to cut all these off. See how that's wore out? Yeah. That's wore out. See how that's wore out?
What, that's not supposed to move side to side?
No.
Oh, they just run in,
What
grind out.
it does, it goes like this. It shovels like this, goes round and round like this. Right, left, up and down. See, like that. This is here to go 10 feet. We got some to go 14 foot in there, right? See, our coal was 3 foot up to 14 foot. The highest coal, yeah. See these arms right here, son? They would go like this. When you cut this coal like this, it's throwing it back there, see? Yeah. But this thing, you have to put it on back.
If you can't love Bob, you can't love anybody.
And they go right on this conveyor here.
Uh-huh.
This conveyor will lay it on the shuttle car, like that.
Cold give out around
Here, you heard of this guy? Johnny L. Lewis?
here. Yeah.
I might have heard of him.
You not heard of him?
I might have heard of him.
You Jay Bird? our local bought this here. Oh, Bob was probably president in there when we bought this, I guess.
Really?
Yeah. You asked him about John Hill?
Yeah.
What did he say?
He had a book down there. I told him I was trying to get this picture from you. He just chuckled.
Did he?
I told him you had 3 of them.
Give you the oldest one.
See how that far in there? 16 miles, 14 miles?
13 miles.
13 miles.
Yeah. This opened up in 1920, and this shut down in 1962. 62. We went above here and opened it. Yeah. We went above here and opened 33 miles on top, see. And we core drilled it 6 foot round, 750 feet straight down, see. Drop that coal from the top, all the way down, get on the vibrator, and vibrator, put it on the belt, and bring it on out right like that. Yeah. Well, come on, son.
Could you walk through that place?
Yeah, you can go.
All 13
No,
miles?
no. You
I
used
would
to.
go through that.
No.
Yeah, what he did, yeah.
Okay. These is, what these is here? Like, this is mine right here. Did you get me a picture of it?
Yeah, I'm getting it right now.
Get it. That's mine.
Robert R.
This is,
Lunsford.
what we bought this right here cost us $10,000. That's all the men that got killed here, see. We got 285 men killed here, see. And that's all the names on it. And then what happened, U.S. Steel didn't give them some of the names it's supposed to. So that cost us another $900, see. This one right here, ain't that something?
Family members showed up and complained their kin wasn't on
Sure
there.
they
Is that
did.
what
Yeah,
happened?
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Then we said we got to do something, so we went ahead and bought
Accident.
what?
Accident.
Yeah, these are owl accidents. Yeah. Marnie Clay here, we had anywhere from 20 to 25 different nationalities. Sure did. We had some wrong.
Bob Collier
Romeo
told me they
Carducci.
came from 35 different countries.
Yeah, Romeo Carducci.
Uh-huh.
See here? Romeo Carducci.
Did you know him?
No.
He's before your time.
Not
Huh?
27. I wasn't born.
Hey, who's this Clay Barney killed in
No, I
97? He
knew
died
him.
in 97?
I knew him real well. Yeah.
What, did he die in one of Arch's mines?
Yeah, down 37. Down on 37.
What happened to him?
You been over to college?
Yeah, I've been over there
All
before.
right, if you looked on up, or you could see 37 miles.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay, that's
He
close.
died in there.
Yeah.
What happened to him, do you know?
That had a rib roll. Boom, like that.
Fell right on
Take
top
his
of him,
coal
huh?
out. Yeah, you take his coal out. You got to pin these ribs. See?
That's the sides.
That's the side. They call it a rib. You got to pin it. If you don't pin it, they go boom, rib roll. Barney Clay was killed. Then 2 weeks later, they shut the dead burn mines down after he got killed. Ain't that so?
Yeah, it is.
But but we sell these down here, and that took care of that $10,000.
That was kind of bad.
We had a lot of color. That's yeah. See, I'm Robert R. Lynch with my wife Wanda and Ellen and Cheryl and Jeff. That's a kid. And my parents is FN and Juan Jones. Was it no? Did he tell you what that guy was named?
I don't remember. There was a couple of them.
Yeah, there's a couple. I don't remember. I can't remember all this stuff. But
They were straight through.
yeah, straight on.
You had a John Wesley.
Yeah. John, hit me this way. I'll place that. Lift it up. Here to help me.
Help you.
Help me lift it. 4 batteries like this. Ain't that something to say? 4 to run this machine, so.
Those are like car batteries?
Yeah, yes it is. After so long, you run it so long, then you put it on charge, see, like that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I used to have in one of their big lifts,
Yeah.
something like this.
Yeah.
They use this machine to fill the coal cars? It's got like a little
Yeah,
bucket on the front?
Yeah.
16.
Well, they cleaned up, see this machine right here? This thing here made a mess. And these scoops to go in there and scoop it up, you didn't have to get out of the car. You can go in there and load it up, see, and load it up.
Right on the ground.
Yeah, but, hey, lay down around there. You can lay down. Watch your ears, man.
I thought they laid down on that
Yeah.
thing right yonder, didn't they? They got
Yeah.
that's about as high as you get right
Yeah.
yonder, that little white thing.
A lot of times you lay down and they take a paintbrush and paint overhead, and you lay down like this and follow that. You can follow that all the way around. This building right here was the superintendent's office, the payroll office, unemployment office. The dollar on this building and that building right there. Did you get in that building?
Yeah, I've been over there.
Did you go inside?
Yeah, the back door's unlocked. I told you that
Oh,
yesterday
you told me
too.
that. Don't tell everybody that's open. Is that some of your people?
Yeah. I don't think I wouldn't want to be in there with nobody smoking either.
Well,
A spark could cause a fire in there, couldn't it, Bob?
yeah. All you had to do is one spark and you're gone. They had explosion on the other side where this thing went through on the other side of the mountain over in Letcher County.
Is that Collins Creek?
Yeah, yeah. Well, this is where it come out at Collier's Creek. But the explosion was at Scotia. They call it Scotia, and it's right there by Collier's Creek. And what it done, the first day it went off, it killed 15 men. The next day it went off, they went down to get the bodies the next day, and the thing went off again and killed 26 men in 2 days. But what it was causing, it was they had an air compressor in there was arcing, see?
Yeah.
All you need is one spark and you gone, boy.
That was a year that had all the names on it? 20-some?
Yeah.
That's a lot of people dying in a couple of days.
Oh, here, the main was on up the road here. They didn't have
Bob said that's where they kept their dynamite for shooting coal.
That thing went off
For 30. And then he said these over here was where they kept the dynamite for 31 to shoot the coal.
Fire station right there, you got that, dude?
Yeah, I've been all up around the fire station.
See that on top of that building up there? See that brown, that structure?
Yeah, that's where the whistle blew.
That's right. If the whistle blowed one time at 6 o'clock, there's work. If it blowed 2 times, there ain't no work. And we have 6 camps in here, see? 6 camps, okay? If it blows 3 times, the bars is number 3. If it blows 2 times, it's number 2, see, like that. And we had to put the bars out, too.
Yeah. And you wish they'd kept that whistle up there?
Yeah. See where that concrete is, all these windows, we really changed that, see? Yeah. That's the way they put, yeah. They give them a check number, and you give them a light. And by the way, I want to show you something. I forgot to show it to you.
Okay.
That's how they look there. That's how
This was at the coal dump. See the card come in there
Load on it.
with a load of coal?
When you bring it out.
And then they turn it upside down there and it dump out. And that building's gone, of course. Here's a diploma from Lynch High
What's the
School.
biggest shirt they make?
Oh, I bet they make 8X.
4X's?
No, they make 6 for sure. I've seen them today in Harlan.
Yeah, they make, I mean, just regular shirts, they make them like this. Oh, they make, they turn swallow.
You got a Lynch High School diploma, don't
Take that
you?
home with you. I won't give you one tomorrow night, son. Because I don't want to have enough to give 50 of them.
2 schools.
Here's the first light you had in the mind.
These are girls that are involved in a play here with the school. There's a reflection on that glass. I see it.
Yeah. So these are baculits over here.
Here's a school play.
8, 10, 12 hours, you put them on charge, yeah.
Are you one of those people there, Bob?
No, that's one of my nephews. I didn't play basketball. He's 5 weeks older than me. We're 2 buddies, 2 brothers. So was. We played football. He played one tackle, and I played the other. So
Wow.
that's 1941. Yeah.
See that blending bin there? Yes, sir. I was looking out those windows right there. Those windows right there, I was looking at them. I was up there in that window. I hiked all the way up there. I got all that on film earlier. But that's where it was, the blending bin where I was looking out. By the way, I gotta tell you that I was with Bob Collier today. And, oh, I never put my Lynch tape back in, so I'm still on my other tape, I do believe. No, I'm on a new tape for Lynch, I am. I've tried to keep all my Lynch stuff separate. Bob Collier told me that this was not built by Arch, that this was all built by U.S. Steel. Bob Lunsford, the guy I was just with, told me that this was all built by Arch, and that Arch was the one that core drilled down to the bottom. Well, look, I should have known. Tells you right here, this conveyor was installed in '68 and hit the mine borehole. And you know, U.S. Steel left here in '84. I know that now. I probably didn't know it when I was walking around earlier. But this was all done by U.S. Steel. And this storage silo over there was U.S. Steel and not by Arch. I found out about this coal dump. You know, I wondered what the coal dump was. And when I was over here before, and I didn't know. And dump basin, there it is. I showed you this on this picture just a few minutes ago when I was in the lamp house. These coal cars would come out here. There used to be a building over this. The coal cars would come out here and they would be turned upside down and the coal would drop down into that hole. And then the coal, there was a belt line that actually ran underneath the street. The belt line ran underneath the street and came out right there. So I'm going to walk over now. I learned all this from Bob Collier. Bob Collier was one of the nicest men I've met. He's equally as nice as Bob Lunsford, or maybe even, well, I don't know if I can say he's nicer. They're both swell people. he's really knowledgeable. Bob Lunsford, he knows a lot of stories, but I think he gets some of his facts a little bit misconstrued. Like telling me Arch was the ones that built this Winifred conveyor when it was actually done by U.S. Steel. And Bob Collier was one that told me that this right here was where the belt line came out from underneath the street and came over here to the tipple, which is behind the silo. You can see it peeking through right there. This is before the silo was here in the 1920s, is what Bob Collier told me. Yeah, buddy, look down in there. When underneath the street, they had a belt line went underneath the street from the dump across the road where they'd turn cars upside down. Snag my strap on a branch. Come over from the dump, come right over here to the tipple. I love it. You know, I like learning new stuff that I didn't know before. And Bob Collier, he wrote that book. So meeting him was fascinating. Man, I had great talks with him. We talked about everything from union leadership, John L. Lewis, and Tony Boyle, and the murder of Jock Yablonsky. We covered it all, man. Talked a lot about Lynch, and I'd love to just hang out with Bob Collier and Bob Lunsford both. I'd love to hang out with them all the time. Look at this brick wall they built. This was to control the creek. I'm back over here by the powerhouse. I'm just wandering around. I thought I'd come over here and look around the silo because I seen from the ceiling over there, look, here's inside the powerhouse. It's a shame they got all this junk here. This clutter, it's eye clutter is what it is. I seen there was a door going into the silo when I saw it from the roof. Sure enough, look at that. There's a spider right there. Cover camera before welding and during. I got similar ones to those. Oh, there's another spider web. Put on my night shot. Doesn't help much though. Doesn't show me much more than what I already got. This is the belt line right here. This is the belt line right here, which is going up to the tipple. Up into there. I was tempted to go back over there with my night shot on and film inside the tipple, but I don't want to. And I don't know, maybe I will when I come back on Saturday. I'm gonna play everything by here, I don't know if that hold me or not. I don't have it. Don't feel the need to walk up it because I've been up there already. I'm just afraid, you know, that it's falling apart. And now Bob Collier's just got me totally freaked out about the snakes around here. He was telling me how people kill rattlesnakes all the time. That they're said, especially this time of the day is a really bad time for snakes. They come out and get on the warm stuff that the sun's heated all day, like rocks and wood and whatnot, and they'll be on top of them getting warm. And if I'd have listened to them tell me all about snakes, I wouldn't have went up in them weeds up to the blender bin and all these places I've been hiking through weeds. I probably wouldn't have done it, but I didn't know they were as bad as they were. I mean, I heard people say watch out for snakes the whole time I've been down here, and I have. But I didn't realize they were as much of a problem as they are when you get out into the weeds and, you know, be out walking around like that. Looney Creek. It's going good, boy. City Lynch not liable for accidents or injuries. Well, that only makes sense. You want to go mess around this old mining stuff and get hurt, don't blame them. Powerhouse. I've had just a great time on this vacation. I had planned to do all sorts of other stuff. I was going to go all over Harlan County to Loyal and Wallens and Brookside Aegis Hospital and Everett's, all these places. All I've done is hang out here in Lynch. This is my third day in the area in a row. Tuesday, Wednesday, today's Thursday. Tomorrow I'm going to hang around Cumberland Gap and go to the Hensley Settlement, but I've spent all my time here in Lynch. And I don't regret it. I've enjoyed 100% of it. Interviewing the people I met, people I talked to. That's funny, Bob told me Arch built that. Wonder why he thought that. Who knows? I should have known it says 68 right on the sign. And I know U.S. Steel left in 84. Didn't put two and two together, I guess. Machine shop. A funny thing, you know, on last tape I was up in Silkstocking Road around the superintendent's house. There's a guy out mowing who was looking at me. Today when I came here, Bob Lunsford said he was up by my daughter's house. His daughter lives up on Silkstocking Road. She has a house next to the superintendent's. I guess the guy mowing was her husband. And told Bob Lunsford that he seen a guy, a strange guy with a camera filming out of his truck, and he had a black pickup truck, and I think he was concerned about who I was and what I was doing. And Bob started laughing and said, "That's Jim. He's been around here the last couple of days. He comes down here all the time." And Bob got a laugh out of it, and he told me about it. I'm picking up my tour where I left off when I turned down from Silkstocking Row. This is the clinic right here. And you got houses all along the other side of the street over here. And I'm going to park over here by the Catholic Church and get out and walk around a little bit. I've always thought this greenhouse was pretty. That green colored house right there. I'm by there's the clinic right there. I parked right there in this lot, and I'm just above the Catholic Church right here. I'm not going to be here for service. I've already decided in my mind I'm leaving on Sunday. That I'm going to spend Friday around Middlesboro and the Gap and all that. And on Saturday, I'm going back to Harlan for the festival and to pick up my shirts, which I bought. I paid for 8 shirts today that say Harlan County on different colors. And I'm going to be back down. I'm going to come back down here to Lynch on Saturday. There's the clinic from the other side. That's where the motel used to be right here, by the way, where this clinic is. It's where the hotel was, which they tore down. I already got all that earlier from Bob. Bob says the Catholic Church was the first church they built here in the town. You can see I'm above the Miners Mart, just through the trees. And there's that Tiny Tots Park right there, whatever they call it. Catholic Church of the Resurrection. Okay, I was thinking it's called the Ascension. They still have Mass here. There's a priest comes down from Harlan and does Mass. I was here last year. The church is absolutely gorgeous inside. I wish I could get inside it. It's always locked up though if the pastor isn't around. I'm going down some stairs. By the way, look, here's these houses. This is Main Street right here, you see below me. Right there's the Miners Mart. Here's the Catholic Church. This church is a very beautiful church. And you know why it was built first? Was because they had so many Europeans. They had recruited all these Europeans to come over from Europe and work in the mines, which they did. By the way, there's the cornerstone, 1921. And they were all Catholic. And this right here was the original hospital. I told you a little bit about the hospital, that they had the best doctors and nurses to come in here and work. And then nuns had it for a while, and Lynch, U.S. Steel used it for offices for a while, and then Arch had their offices in here when they were here. And there's a mission group. Here's the side of the church. This mission group that runs it now, it's called Solomon's Porch, and they truck in all these Christians from all over the place. There's a statue of the Holy Mother. They truck in these people that come in here and fix up stuff for poor people. Some of these houses that are run down. And I met the pastor today who's running all this. His name's Lonnie. I didn't know who he was at the time, but when I was with Bob Collier, and they told me they paid $85,000. They just recently bought this in the last year or so from Arch. I bought it from Arch and have been fixing it up. These are the houses facing Main Street. Behind them, there's alleys that run behind all the houses, and a lot of people park behind them instead of in front, because not all of them have driveways from the front. I'm not going to try and get in here in the hospital. I was in there in the fall last time. They've painted all the rooms all funky to make it look contemporary. It's not historical looking at all anyway. But this old boy was out here. was kind of rude to me. He didn't want me going in. Told me to come back in August. Told me the day was just too busy to have someone looking around. Bob Collier's wife told me today the reason why is because all these rooms in here, people have their belongings and stuff, and they're afraid it might get stolen. Solomon's Porch. And Bob Collier's associated with this. This is the side of the hospital. Okay, you have Main Street as row 1. See the houses there? Then you have houses at this level. And you have houses at the 3rd level up there. And I believe they're even higher. These streets are tiered, just like I said, in levels. And that's because of the ridge, most likely. On down this way, this is Church Street. On down this way is the Methodist Church. This is the back of the hospital. Really, you ain't missing much not going in, because it's not historical looking at all. They've got stars painted on some of the walls, and they've got ivy painted on some walls. You can see inside a window there. See that border up there? They've tried to make them look like contemporary hotel rooms. And I thought it was cheesy. Some people might think it's nice. Look at this guy, man. He is flying down this road on a quad runner. Look along the side here for water to flow down through here so it doesn't flood up on the road. And this is behind the Catholic Church. I'm walking back up toward my truck. There's a bunch of daylilies. Check that water out coming down off the mountain. This is going to end up down Looney Creek. Goes underneath the street and underneath the ground and comes out below Main Street and drops into Looney Creek. Little meditation yard. There's some pretty flowers. This is all well built. Very clever. U.S. Steel, man, they do a good job when they do something, I'll tell you for sure. Bob Collier was talking about how these buildings were all meant to last 100 years, all the houses. And he said they're hemlock, the wood, and he said termites won't eat it. He said it's extremely strong wood. These houses that are from the 20s, he said, are just as sturdy as when they were built. And this is original. That's original roof from the 1920s. Oh yeah. Slate. I think that greenhouse is kind of neat. I just like the color, I guess. Needs a new coat of paint though. I'm driving away from the Catholic Church, which you can see the backside of right here. Driving on down Church Street. There you can see people up in those rooms now. Going behind the houses here on Church Street. Actually, these are the fronts of houses, because behind them there's nothing but a hill. And you got houses on this side too. Got them on both ends. My little seatbelt warning thing telling me I don't have my belt on. This here's the Methodist Church. I'm going to stop here for a minute. Here's a sign, Lynch United Methodist Church. And I'll tell you what, this is Bob Lunsford's church. And he talks about it all the time. How lovely the church is. And he's been going here all his life. And he loves it. And he came for service last night. And he's like, I got to go to church at 6:30. There's the sign. I'll tell you, when I was here last time, see this house right here next to it? I met this woman. This house used to be a duplex. And they bought this house, tore the middle part out, and made one huge home out of it. Her husband, I think she's divorced now. Her husband used to be a mining engineer. He still is, works for mines. She said, I put this house up for sale. And she said, I couldn't sell it. I took it off the market. I said, how much did you want for it? $60,000, she said. It's all been remodeled. Look how huge it is. It's got twice the amount of space my house does in Lancaster. It's a pretty house, very pretty house. Here's the side of the Methodist church. You can tell it's got pretty stained glass right there. These are the backyards of the people that their house faces Church Street. Got a nice backyard. I'm behind the Methodist church now. Oh, they have a van. Or they call it a bus. That's like a social hall next door. I don't know if their pastor lives local here or not. I'm coming down here to give you a view. This is behind the Methodist church, looking down Church Street or what have you. That's Main Street down there. You can see a house there. And then behind it you got Looney Creek. You can hear it from here. That's how noisy it is. Hey, see there's that band building. Right there. And so you have the high school right next to it, right through those trees there. And then you go up into Gap Branch. That's the road right through there going into Gap Branch. Stone's pretty, ain't it? Look, that's what's making all that noise. That little waterfall right there, or whatever you'd call that. I'm walking through, looks like some kind of a Sally Port. I think it's a garage. This road goes down to Main Street from the Methodist Church. It just wraps down to Main. Now I'm going to continue on down Church Street though. This is going on down Church Street. The Methodist Church is right behind me. I'm just pulling away from it. Houses on both sides still. These are like the back sides of them on the right. The ones on the left face this direction. Liberty Street comes from the next road up. Yeah, there's a car coming. I was going to pull over on the side and give them room. Some of these houses, this one here, you can tell nobody lives in that one. It's just been neglected. That brings me out to Main Street, right down there. I'm not going down that way because I've already been down there. I'm going behind these houses. I'm on like a little alley. Now I'm behind the houses now that face Main Street because church just dropped off on the main. And these houses right here are facing Main Street. Just going for a little drive. The old Watson truck cam. I really should put my seatbelt on just because that beeping annoys me. And probably you too, you're listening. Look, they still got their little, oh, that one's falling over. Uh-oh, this better let me back out and not make me do a U-turn up here. Looks like I'm gonna have to turn around. Hold on. Look at that, that's Teresa's hair salon. I met and interviewed her, remember? This is going back down the alley. Behind these houses that face Main Street. I'll tell you what I'll do. How about I'll go back up Church and then turn up Liberty, which is the third, which will take me up to the third level of houses. Church Street goes up to the second level and then Liberty goes up to the third set. Y'all having a good time? Yeah, good. Nothing like just driving through town with a camera and just filming stuff. That's all I'm doing. This is Church Street again. I'm coming the other direction. When I took you before, I was coming the other way. Here's that house I told you nobody lives in. Maybe somebody lives in that one. Was it the next one? Oh man. Now I've driven up and down this road before, but I really don't have any normal reason to come down this way, aside from just driving down it. Okay, here's Liberty. Let's go on up Liberty Street. This comes off of Church. Coming up to the next level of houses. Everything's green and pretty, ain't it? Now I can go on up Liberty Street, but I'm going to turn up in here first, because I want you to see they got apartments up here. See there, Cumberland Manor Apartments. Oh man, everybody's going to be staring at me with my camera now. There's a lot of people out here, and they're going to be wondering what the heck I'm doing. Now I think some of these might have to do with poor people. I'm not going to wrap up around to the top level. I'm going to turn around here. Okay, I'm leaving the apartment area. There's a phone number on there if you want to come and live down here. Where these people work, I don't have a clue. Maybe they go into Cumberland. I suppose that's possible. There's some kind of a church right here. I never heard of it before. I'm on Liberty Street now. This is the back of those apartments. Oh, there's a nasty bump in the street right there. You can see the Methodist church poking through right there. And you know what? What is this right here? Trailer Park Road. Do I want to go up there? Nah, I don't believe I do. There's a couple of house trailers up there, I do recall. This pretty much completes my tour of Lynch. I can't believe it. There's another trailer right there. These houses right here to my left face Church Street. I'm behind them. This old guy's in the way. Don't bother to move out of the street for me there, buddy. Yeah, I got you lollygagging on film. Lollygagger. This woman's checking me out. Guy with a camera driving down the road. Get some attention. It's all good. Oh, there's where Trailer Park comes out. Liberty Street, this street right here is called. There's the back of the hospital I just seen peeking through in the Catholic Church. I'm right above them right now in the next row over. There's a road going down, which I passed. Sure do hope I get out down here and don't have to turn around. I don't know if this drops back down or not. No parking in alley. Alley? Where's this alley go? I don't know. Oh wait, hold on. I'm going down this little alley which was at the end of Liberty Street. Never been on this part right here. Oh, I see where I am. I see that pretty greenhouse I like sticking through. Been a lot of high winds and storm. There's a pretty young black girl in the street over there. I don't mean young, I mean she looked like she's 18 or 19. There's the Catholic Church. I'm back on Liberty Street. I thought I'd take a drive up that Trailer Park Road just because I'm seeing everything. See the hospital? That's a red roof peeking out between those houses. Yeah, here's Trailer Park Road right here. Run up through here, and then this covers everything of Lynch, man. You have seen it all through my 5 hours of videotape. Can't believe I've taken 5 hours. I have. There's that trailer I seen from the other side. That's their driveway. Somebody burning garbage right there. That's always attractive. And makes attractive smell in the air. No trespassing. Who's gonna want to trespass there? Maybe they want to drop their garbage off. Okay, here we go. I'm back out on Liberty Street right here. Oh, close that door there, buddy. You gone? I don't know. That guy's pointing. I know he ain't pointing. Coming down Liberty Street. This old boy just stopped me back there. Was waving for me to stop. And then when I stopped and jumped out of the truck, he was like, "What are you filming for?" And I told him I was doing this for a college class on the history. And then he was all nice about it. At first he was acting a little strange or a little bizarre. This is what, my second time down through here. That dog almost bought the farm right there. Thing's running like it only has 3 legs. If my tape lasts, I'm gonna get this. Hold on. Here's the part where it comes out on the main street. Here we go. Back out on Main Street. Down on Main Street. You can see the band building right there. I done driven all through here. My tape's about to give out. I thought, what the heck, I'll just run this until the tape stops, which it should any second now. Some people on the side of the road there.